Hey, hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon. How you doing? Nice to meet you. I hope you're doing so very well. Today I have part 2 of my TBR game approved book haul. So if you do not know, I'm eating here. Oh no. Ew. Okay. If you do not know, I have a TBR game, and in order to buy books, I have to hit 20 points on my game, which means I have to read in order to get points, which means I have to read books before I buy books. And in May, turning into June, I managed to hit 20 points and I went on a crazy book buying haul adventure. The first part of this was thrifted books, books that I bought from charity shops or secondhand online. This part is going to be books I've pre-ordered, books I've bought myself as a treat, books gifted to me, and also just anything else that doesn't fit into buying secondhand. So this is part 2. If you're interested in part 1, I will leave that linked either in the description or up top so you can see that for yourself and see all of the books that I hauled in the last month. It's crazy. It's been crazy, okay? But without further ado, let's get into some of the books that I am hauling today. The first book I have here is Gallant by V.E. Schwab, and this was a gift from my lovely friend Sefi. It says to Rai and it is signed, and Sefi is always linked down below. Their channel is What Effie Reads, and they are just honestly so generous to me, and I'm so grateful and thankful for everything that they gift me. Not only that, but their friendship, and I love this. I will treasure this forever. In this, we follow a girl named Olivia Pryor. She is an orphan at an boarding school for independent girls. I think that's what it's called. And she only has one thing left from her mum, and that is a journal that slowly descends into madness. And the one thing that is the takeaway from this journal is Olivia will be safe as long as she stays away from Gallant. Gallant is an estate that her mum grew up in, and of course Olivia does not stay away. Mayhem, darkness, and a lot of things ensue. I have already read this. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4.5 star. I think this is good for anyone of any age, and I love V.E. Schwab's writing. It's just amazing. They're so talented, and I wish I had an ounce of talent for words the way that V. Schwab does. So this is the first book that I'm hauling. The next book I have here is the X Hex. This was also a gift, and I am quite excited for this. It's a lot shorter than I thought it would be. This is by Erin Sterling, and this says Vivian Jones handled the biggest breakup of her life the way that any witch would: vodka, bubble baths, and a curse on her ex. I mean, that tagline would get me right away, because that sounds like a good time, bar the vodka. I don't drink vodka. Change it to gin and it'll be a party. That was 9 years ago. Now Rhys Penhallow, descendant of the town's founders, breaker of hearts and still irritatingly gorgeous, is back. Rhys has returned to the quaint town of Graves Glen to recharge the ley lines and make an appearance at the annual fall festival. But when his every move results in calamity, Vivi realizes that Hex and her... This is going to be a tongue twister, this one. Vivi realizes that Hex and her ex might not have been so harmless after all. As the curse starts to affect the magic of the town, resulting in murderous wind-up toys, an outraged ghost, and a surprisingly talkative cat, Vivi and Rhys must put their personal feelings aside and work together to break the curse and save not just the town, but also Rhys's life. This sounds really good. Anything with witches, I am down. Give me witch and comedy, I'm even more down. This sounds really good. A lot shorter than I thought, but also the flop on this is just top tier. So yeah, that's one. Next here, I have a book I bought for the Literally Dead book club. This is Confessions by Kane Minato. I've already read this. In this, we follow Yoko, who is a teacher, and her daughter ends up dead. Everybody believes it was an accident, but Yoko knows that it was one of her pupils that killed her child. So this is told in different POVs from the people involved, and it was an interesting read. I think I gave this a 3.5 star or a 3 star. Not something I would read again. Good discussion for the Literally Dead book club. But yeah, I bought this to participate, and I will probably unhaul it. So that might be this might be in a haul and then another unhaul. So I'm not sure yet. But yeah, there's this as well. Next, we have one of my pre-orders, which was Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This is obviously so very hyped at the moment. This follows Nora, who is a cutthroat literary agent at the top of her game. Her whole life is books. Charlie is an editor with a gift for creating bestseller, and he's Nora's work nemesis. Nora has been through enough breakups to know she's the one men date before finding their happily ever after. To prevent another date and dud, Nora's sister persuades her to swap her city desk for a month's holiday in Sunshine Falls. It's a small town straight out of a romance novel, but instead of meeting sexy lumberjacks, handsome doctors, or cute bartenders, Nora keeps bumping into Charlie. I mean, two characters that love books, a small town romantic setting with enemies or nemesis people that potentially get together, probably will. I'm here for it. I'm up, I'm ready. Hopefully I'll read this in June. Oh, that's where that needle went from my last haul video. So if you don't know, I was doing an update on my embroidery for the whatever-a-thon, and I thought I dropped my needle, but it's actually just hanging off the edge of this fabric, so that's great. It means I won't stab myself later. The next book I have here is an intimidating one that I bought on a whim because I need to know. So I have here The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, the first in the Mistborn trilogy. Again, all these floppy books are just making my heart so happy. I bought this because Brandon Sanderson broke the internet when he came out with his special projects, his secret projects, and I didn't want to buy or do anything before I had sampled his work. I've never read from Brandon Sanderson, so it felt really stupid to go away and buy really expensive books not knowing if I like his writing style. So I bought this. I've heard so much about it, but I still don't know 100% what it's about. So I am going to read the back. The mist rules the night. The Lord Ruler owns the world. For 1,000 years the ash fell. For 1,000 years the Skal slaved in misery and lived in fear. For thousands of years the Lord Ruler reigned with absolute power and ultimate terror, divinely invincible. Every attempt revolt has failed miserably. Yet somehow hope survives. A new kind of uprising is being planned, one that depends on the cunning of a brilliant criminal mastermind and the courage of an unlikely heroine, a Ska street urchin who must learn to master allomancy, the power of a Mistborn. What if the prophesized hero had failed to defeat the Dark Lord? The answer will be found in the Mistborn trilogy. The saga of surprises begin here. So this is a high fantasy adult novel. It is the first in a trilogy, first in the Cosmere. This is where I'm edging in. This is going to be my first Brandon Sanderson. It's also going to be my first Cosmere. After searching up a lot of different things, I came to the conclusion this is the best place to start, so I bought it. And now I'm scared of it. So this might be one that I vlog, so you can see how I get along with it. Next, we have here Devil House by John Darnell. This is a horror book that I had my eye on. This was in my most anticipated. Quite a few of these were in my most anticipated, actually. And this is definitely something that sounds good. Gage Chandler is descendant from kings. That's what his mother always told him. Chandler is a true crime writer with one grisly success and a movie adaptation. His name, along with a series of subsequent lesser efforts that have paid the bills but not much more. But now he is being offered the chance for his big break, to move into the house which locals call the Devil's House, in which a briefly notorious pair of murders occurred, apparently the work of a disaffected 1980s teen. He begins his research with diligence and enthusiasm, but soon the story leads him into a puzzle he never expected, his own work and what it means, the very core of what he does and who he is. This sounds great. I'm a true crime fan. That never sounds not weird, but I like books about writers. I like books about like true crime crime-esque things. I know this is obviously all based on fiction, but like that aspect of going to a house where crime was committed and writing a story about that crime just like speaks to me, and I need to know if I'm gonna like this, and I need to know now. So this is one that I'm highly anticipating and will be getting to as soon as I can fit it into my TBR tarot, or as soon as the readathons stop, because I've been working with readathon prompts. This is one that I haven't been able to fit in yet, so hopefully soon, hopefully. Next here I have another book that was gifted to me. This is the Zodiac Academy, The Awakening. This was gifted to me by my friend Ben, so thank you very much, Ben, if you're watching. This is a very big series that I originally seen on TikTok being like super hyped, so I need to know what all the hype is about. This says, I'm a Gemini. Impulsive, curious, headstrong, a twin. Heir to a throne I know nothing about. And it turns out I'm Fae. But of course there's a catch. All I have to do to claim my birthright is to prove that I'm the most powerful supernatural in the whole of Solaria. And sure, technically that's true. I'm the daughter of the Savage King. But the bit they didn't put in the brochure was that every single Fae in this kingdom would claim my throne if they could. My biggest problem is the drool-worthy dragon shifter who has his eyes on my throne. He and his 3 cycle friends are determined to make my time here hell. All I've got to do is survive, but fate might have other ideas. So, Fae, dragon shifters, throne, I'm down. And I'm pretty sure these books get a little bit dirty. I do not know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it was pitched to me as a fantasy smut book. So maybe, I don't know. I'm so happy that I have this, and I cannot wait to start this series. The only issue is I'm trying to close out some series I've already started before I start any more, which I've already failed. So this might happen soon. I might break my own rules because I've already done it once. What's one more time? But yeah, very excited to get to this. Also intimidated because it's a long ass series. Next year I have a book I pre-ordered, which is I Kiss Shara Wheeler, and every time I speak about this book I've said Sarah because I obviously don't see the sh before it. But I Kiss Shara Wheeler is one that I'm highly anticipating. This sounds really good. It says, a month before graduation from Willgrove Christian Academy, the principal's perfect daughter, prom queen Shara Wheeler, kisses Chloe Green and vanishes. On a furious hunt for answers, Chloe discovers that she's not the only one Shara kissed. There's also Smith, Shara's longtime sweetheart, and Rory, Shara's bad boy neighbour with a crush. Thrown into an unlikely alliance, Chloe, Smith and Rory follow Shara's trail of annoyingly cryptic clues. Chloe starts to suspect that there may be more to this small town and to Shara than she thought. And this kind of like sounds to me like Paper Towns by John Green, but queer. And I was okay with that book, but if I know anything, queer makes everything better. So also this has like this beautiful hardcover. Like, look how stunning this hardcover is. Yeah, I think this is super cute, and I'm glad that I pre-ordered it because I hope to get to it soon, which I'm getting fed up of saying because who knows when I'll get to any of these. Next we have another gift from my wonderful friend Sephi, and this is Sorrowland by Rivers Solomon. I had my eye on this for a while, but I had my eye on like another edition. So when Sephi gifted to me, I didn't realize that this was actually the book that I wanted. Because the cover's so different. But yeah, it is the same book, it's just different covers. And I think it was maybe because I was looking at the paperback version. I don't know, but this does sound good. It says, Vern, a haunted woman alone in the woods, gives birth to twins and raises them away from the influence of the outside world. But something is wrong. Not with them, but with her own body. It's changing. It's stronger. It's not normal. To understand her body's metamorphosis, Vern must investigate this secluded religious compound from which she fled, and the violent history of dehumanization, medical experiments, and genocide that produced it. In the course of reclaiming her own darkness, Varen learns that monsters aren't just individuals, but entire histories, systems, and nations. Like, I'm pretty sure this is a cult book. I'm pretty sure she escaped from a cult. It's a secluded novel about a woman giving birth in the woods and like staying away from civilization, but also changing and adapting. It sounds so good and I'm just here for it. This is horror, I believe, so hopefully like it'll spook me out or creep me out, but I'm very excited for this one. And again, we come in with another gift from Sephi, which is Medusa by Jessie Burton. I've already read this. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. This was amazing. This is Medusa Retold. It is a very feminist take on Medusa. Medusa lives on a small isolated island because she was cursed by the goddess Athena, which is how she became Medusa. She stays there with her sisters and she is struggling really hard. When Perseus comes and stumbles upon her land, she thinks that this might be her chance to finally see someone, but Athena's voice is always ringing in her head saying like, damn any boy, man, or person to look upon you, something of that nature. And then Medusa goes through a really hard struggle in not only deciding whether to face Perseus, but also deciding whether she's going to let this define her. This was beautiful and the artwork in it is absolutely stunning. All of this whole book is stunning. I've already read this. I didn't vlog for the 48-hour bookathon, but that's what I read this for and I just loved it. I gave it 5 stars. So I'm hauling a book I've already read. Yay! Next we have yet another gift from Sephi. I swear Sephi is so generous to me and I am so thankful for all the books that they have gifted to me, and this one is Have We Met by Camille Baker, and I've heard Sephi rave about this, so I'm very excited to get to it. This is a love story. After losing her best friend to cancer, Corinne's life is in flux. She has moved back to Chicago, is considering her next career move, or temp job, and has absolutely no time to look for love, until a mysterious dating app called Met suddenly appears on her phone, and with it an invitation for Corinne to reconnect with 4 missed connections from the past. One of them, Met says, is her soulmate. This sounds really good. I am very excited because of the hype that I've heard from Sephi. So a lot of the books that me and Sephi talk about, we tend to like push each other to read, kind of. I will talk about something which will make Sephi want to pick it up, and Sephi will talk about something and make me want to pick it up. This was already on my Kindle, but I am so thankful and happy to have a physical copy, and I hope to love this. Next, I have a Colleen Hoover. This is Ugly Love. I recently read It Ends With Us, which was my first Colleen Hoover book. I will leave my vlog for it tagged somewhere, but this was my second purchase of Colleen Hoover. I'm slowly edging my way into the coho hype, and this sounds really good. It says, it's not exactly love at first sight for Tate Collins when she meets the tormentative and secretive Miles Archer. They wouldn't even go so far as to consider themselves friends. The only thing Tate and Miles have in common is a mutual physical attraction that can't be denied. Once their desires are out in the open, they realise they might have stumbled on the perfect no-strings attachment. He isn't looking for love and she doesn't have time for it, so that leaves just the sex. What they've got could be surprisingly satisfying, as long as Tate can stick to the 2 rules Miles has set for her. Never ask about the past and don't expect a future. They think they can handle it, but everything is different when real emotions start to change the equation. Hearts get infiltrated, promises get broken, rules get shattered, love gets ugly. Honestly, every time I say ugly like that, I think of Amanda Bynes from She's the Man. Ugly. I'll try and find the clip and show it because it's so funny.
And when my eyes are closed, I see you for what you truly are, which is ugly. We're done.
I am very looking forward to this now that I've read Colleen Hoover. I gave It Ends With Us a 5 star. I hope to enjoy the rest of her work the same. I think I will have likes, dislikes, loves and hates with Coho, but I mean, I'm invested and I do think that this will be a good story. Next, I have another gift. This is Redemptor by Jordan Ifuko. This is the sequel to Raybader, so I am not going to read the back because I have not read Raybader. But now I own the duology. I do plan to read Raybader and this like pretty back to back so that I can like enjoy them all as kind of one. I do not know much about this story apart from it comes highly recommended from Sefi. It's diverse and has great fantasy aspects. So yeah, that's all I really know. I don't want to even look at the back of this because I do not want to spoil myself, but I don't need to know anything more. Sefi raves about Redemptor so hard that I need to read it. I need to read it right now. So this is the sequel and I now have a finished duology, which means this is now a priority series because I own both of them. Next, I have another gift from my friend Ben. This is Gideon the Ninth by Tasman Muir. I have had this on my wish list since it came out. This sounds amazing. I cannot wait to read this. It says, brought up by unfriendly ossifying nuns, ancient retainers, and countless skeletons, Gideon is ready to abandon a life of servitude and afterlife as a reanimated corpse. She packs up her sword, her shoes, and her dirty magazines and prepares to launch her daring escape. But her childhood nemesis won't set her free without a service. Nona Gessimus, Riverend, daughter of the Ninth House and the Bone Witch extraordinaire, has been summoned into action. The Emperor has invited the heirs to each of his loyal houses to a deadly trial of wits and skill. If Harrow harks to siege, she will become an immortal, all-powerful servant of the resurrection. And no necromancer can ascend without their cavalier. Without Gideon's sword, Harrow will fail and the Ninth House will die. Of course, some things are best left dead. This sounds amazing. I have had this on since it came out, and also I think the third one's coming out this year. I don't know if this is a trilogy or a series, but I am excited to try. Also, the flop level on this, like, I need all of them, and I need them to be all floppy. I am so thankful for this and I hope to get to it soon. I am a little worried that it's going to be a very complicated world. I don't know why I feel that way, but I am very excited to try nonetheless. Next here we have A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. I bought this and read this. This was the first book I've bought and read pretty much immediately in so long. And it was so nice to do. It's been a while since I've done that. In this we follow Chloe Davis, who spends a childhood of normalcy until it comes out that her father is a serial killer. We then follow Chloe as an adult who has her life together, and then killings start happening and she has to visit her past and her childhood all again. And this is a great book about trauma and the effects people have in our life. I really enjoyed this. I gave it a 4.5 stars. It's a very good look onto mental health side of things. I am glad that I picked this up. I'm glad I read this, and I will definitely pick more up from this author. Again, I'm hauling another book that I've already read, but I'm cool with that. I'm like fairly easy-ozy. This is like a book haul that I've just accumulated since hitting 20 points on my TBR. So it has been about 6 weeks that I've gathered all of these books. Maybe about, no, not 6 weeks, maybe about 5, like a month. So yeah, like in this month I have read some of the books that I've bought, but this was good and I'm glad that I bought it. Next here I have another gift, one I am very excited about. This is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. This is so hyped. I need to know why. I need to know why everyone loves this. I need to get on the bandwagon. So I'm so happy that I got this gifted to me because it's one that I definitely have interest in. It says, welcome to the Alexandrian Society. When the world's best magicians are offered an extraordinary opportunity, saying yes is easy. Each could join the secretive Alexandrian Society, whose custodians guard lost knowledge from the ancient civilizations. Their members enjoy a lifetime of power and prestige, yet each decade only 6 practitioners are invited to fill 5 places. Contenders: Libby Rhodes and Nico Di Varona, are inseparable enemies, cosmetologists who can control matter with their minds. Parisa Camille is a telepath who sees the mind's deepest secrets. Rihanna Mori is a naturalist who can perceive and understand the flow of life itself. And Callum Nova is an empath who can manipulate the desire of others. Finally, there's Tristan Kane, whose powers mystify even himself. Following the recruitment by the mysterious Atlas Blakely, they travel to the Society's London headquarters. Here, each must study and innovate with esoteric subject areas, and if they can prove themselves over the course of the year, they'll survive. Most of them. This sounds great. This sounds really good. It does sound amazing. 6 extraordinary magicians, 5 chances to win 1 secret society. Sign me up. But also, I'm intimidated because it is a TikTok sensation. It is hugely hyped, and I've heard so many good things about it that I'm very hesitant to go in because my expectations are all the way up here. I know I should lower them, but I can't. So I have this on my TBR for June. I don't know if I'm gonna read it or not, but yeah, like, I'm excited for it nonetheless. And finally, the last book I have here is yet another gift from Sephi, and that is In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. This has been on my wish list since Kayla from Books and Lala mentioned it. It sounds very up my alley, and I decided to add it to my list in hopes that I could buy the paperback because this hardback was quite expensive. So thank you so much, Sephi. This says, it follows 6 friends, 1 college reunion, and 1 unsolved murder. 10 years after graduation, Jessica Miller has planned her triumphant return to Southern elite Duquesne University, down to the envious whispers that are sure to follow in her wake. Everyone is going to see the girl she wants them to see. Confident, beautiful, indifferent. Not the girl she was when she left campus. Back when Heather Shelby's murder fractured everything, including the tight bond linking 6 friends she'd been closest to since freshman year. But not everyone is ready to move on. Not everyone left Darkette 10 years ago, and not everyone can let Heather's murder go unsolved. Someone is determined to trap the real killer, to make the guilty party pay. When the 6 friends are reunited, they will be forced to confront what happened that night and the year's worth of terrible secrets each of them would do anything to keep hidden. Told in racing dual timelines with a dark campus setting and a darker look at friendship, love, obsession, and ambition. So, as I said in my last book haul, which is all the books that I thrifted, I like a good obsession, stalker, watching kind of thriller. I just think the behavior psychology and the science behind behavior psychology is so interesting, and I think this book is going to fall into like the obsession category, which I'm really, really excited for. And this has been one that I've been wanting to read for a while, so I am so glad that I have this in my hands. Again, this is on my June TBR, so you know, I am very excited for this one. I don't know if I've ever already spoke about this one. I can't remember. So this might be cut out, but if not, this is the final book. This is Hide by Kirsten White. This is the Literally Dead book club pick for the month of June. This is on my June TBR. This follows a contest, and all the contestants have to hide in an abandoned carnival to get the cash prize. You stay hidden, you get the prize. The last one to stay hidden gets the prize. But then people start dying, and not only do you have to stay hidden, you have to stay alive. And God knows what happens to the cash prize if everyone's dead. This sounds really fun. It's a lot shorter than I thought it would be. Sounds really fun. I'm very excited to pick this up. Very excited to participate in the Literally Dead book club pick. So yeah, this is the final book if I have not already mentioned it. But yeah, this is one that I'm very much looking forward to. I'm looking forward to all of these, to be honest. Like, there's not one book in here that I'm not looking forward to. And I'm so thankful to everyone that has gifted me a book. It really means so much to me. I honestly think books are like one of my favorite gifts to receive. And yeah, like I am just so thankful, and I hope that I can bring you some content with the books that I bought and the books that I was gifted, and put them to real good use so that the people that gifted me them can see my thoughts if they so please. But yeah, that is all I have for you today. That is all of the books that I have left in this part 2 of this haul. This was a big haul for me. That's why it's split up into 2 parts. I think altogether from these 2 book hauls, I had 37 books, which is a lot for me to haul. I don't normally haul that much books. Like, over the course of 6 months, if I'm hauling books, then I will haul that many books. But considering these were all hauled within 1 month is extraordinary for me. And now I'm scared because I don't have enough spaces on my shelf for all of them. And I have a lot of reading to get done. So if you're interested in any of my thoughts on any of these books, please remember to subscribe and hit the bell, and you will be notified when I take out new content and hopefully see some of my thoughts on these books. If you are interested in any of these books, let me know down below. Have you read any? Also, if you could pick one book from this whole haul that I would give to you, like, for free, which book would it be? I hope you had a good time. Thank you so very much for watching. Remember to stay safe, happy and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Pick it up from the